Okay, good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay. The last class we were
Morning.
discussing about the potential due to electric dipole, right? Potential due to the electric dipole. So, Sania, what is the equation for potential due to electric dipole?
V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0
Mhm.
by P cos theta by R square.
P cos theta by R square. And we also discussed some cases that is along the axis point or axial line. What about the value of theta, angle between the potential and that of the electric dipole? Naurin,
0 degree.
theta equal to 0 degree. Then what happens to our equation for potential? V is equal to
1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 P by R square.
P by R square. All right. The next one, Dia.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
the point P along the equatorial plane, what about the angle between them?
Theta equal to 90 degree.
Okay, then what about the potential?
Uh, 0.
Yes, the potential V equal to 0. So students, today we are going to see the potential due to a system of charges. So the next topic is potential due to system of charges. Actually, it's a very simple topic as we are deriving the expression for the electric field due to a system of charges. Did you remember that? The electric field due to a system of charges. Like that, here we have potential due to a system of charges. So before the derivation, I will give you the conditions for this. So you can write down the steps. After that, we can start to derive. Okay. So the potential due to system of charges, write the condition that we have taken here. Consider a system of charges. Consider a system of charges. All of you, please switch on your videos. Consider a system of charges Q1, Q2, etc. up to Qn. Consider a system of charges Q1, Q2, etc. up to Qn with the position vectors, with the position vectors, with the position vectors R1p, R2p, etc. up to Rnp. Consider a system of charges Q1, Q2, Q3, etc. up to N with the position vectors R1p, R2p, etc. up to Rnp. Next, let P be a point. Let P be a point P. Let P be a point. Let P be a point along the electric field of the system of charges. Let P be a point along the electric field of system of charges. Okay. Now we can draw the diagram for the representation of this condition. So here we are going to discuss the potential due to system of charges. We have a system of charges like Q1, Q2, etc. up to Qn. And we are consider or let P be a point along the electric field of the system of charges. The Q1 is at a distance of R1P from this point. Q2 is at a distance of R2P from this point. Like that, Qn is at a distance of Rnp from this point P. Okay. So we are like, let P be a point along the electric field of this system of charges. Now, the potential at point P. Write the next sentence. Now, the potential at point P, after drawing this, you can write. Now, the potential at the point P is given by. Now, the potential at the point P is given by. Can you recall the equation for potential at a given point? V is equal to
1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q by R.
yes, very good. 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q by R. Now the potential at the point P is given by the expression. This is the general expression for calculating the potential due to a point charge. V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R. Okay. After this, you can write then the potential. Yes,
Can you tell the equation again?
yes.
Ma'am, can you say the equation again?
Okay. The potential at the point P due to the charge is given by V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R. 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R. After this, you can write then the potential at point P. Then potential at point P due to Q1 charge, the potential at the point P due to Q1 charge is given by Q1 charge. Can you write an expression for the potential at the point P due to the Q1 charge? It is given by V1. V1 is equal to, what is the expression for the potential at the point P due to the charge Q1? V1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. What is the charge here?
Q1.
Yes, very good. Q1 divided by, what is the distance of separation between them?
R1P.
R1P. Q1 divided by R1P. The potential at the point P due to the charge Q1 is given by V1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 divided by R1P. Similarly, the potential at the point P, write the next sentence. Similarly, the potential at the point P due to the charge Q2. Similarly, the potential at the point P, the potential at the point P due to the charge Q2 is given by V2 is equal to the potential at the point P due to the charge Q2 is given by V2 is equal to, guess the equation, please. 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. Here the charge is Q2. Say it louder. Q2 divided by R2P. Yeah. So the potential at the point P due to the charge Q2 is given by V2 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q2 divided by R2P. Then the potential at the point P. Then the potential at the point P then the potential at the point P due to the charge Qn, due to the charge Qn, this charge, the potential at the point P due to the charge Qn is given by Vn is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. The charge here is Qn divided by the distance of separation between the point and the charge is given by Rnp. Sorry, Rnp. Rnp. Okay. So we write the expression for potential at the point P due to the charge Q1, Q2, etc. up to Qn, where V1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, Q1 by R1P, V2 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, Q2 by R2P, etc. up to Qn. The potential at the point P due to the charge Qn is given by Vn is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, Qn divided by Rnp. Now, how we can calculate the total potential at this point P? Therefore, the total potential at the point P. Therefore, the total potential at the point P can be calculated by, therefore, the total potential at the point P can be calculated by the total potential at the point P can be calculated by sum of the potential due to individual charges. Sum of the potential due to individual charges. The potential at the point P can be calculated by sum of the potential due to individual charges. That is, the total potential V is equal to, we have V1 plus V2 plus etc. up to Vn. The total potential at the point P can be calculated by sum of the potential due to individual charges. That is, V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus etc. up to Vn. Now we can substitute the values of potential here. Then it may become V is equal to, what is the value of V1? What is V1? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 divided by V plus V2 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q2 divided by R2P plus etc. What about Vn? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Qn divided by Rnp. Okay. In this equation, who is common? Which term is common? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 by R1P plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q2 by R2B plus etc. plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Qn by Rnp. Which term is common?
1 by 4 pi
Yes,
epsilon.
very good. 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 is common. We can take it outside. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q1 by R1P plus Q2 by R2P plus etc. Qn divided by Rnp. Now the same step, what we can do here, instead of adding all these terms, we can use summation. We can use the summation, that is the sigma here. That is V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. Instead of adding all these terms, we put the sigma, that is the summation. And the charge is varying from which point to which point?
1.
Yes. So we are giving the variable I. I is varies from, that is the charge is varies from 1 to n. 1 to n. Qi divided by, again R is also varies from 1 to n. So we are writing here the variable I is varies from 1 to n. So we can write RIP. This is the expression for potential due to a system of charges, or you can write this also. V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 by R1P plus Q2 by R2P plus etc. up to Qn by Rnp. Instead of adding all these terms, we put the summation sign, then we get V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 sigma I is varies from 1 to n Qi divided by Rip. Is it is clear for you? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now we can discuss the potential if it is inside a spherical shell. We can just compare the potential if it is in a spherical shell. So in order to compare this, we are considering the electric field. So can you recall the electric field inside a spherical shell? We are discussed the application of Gauss's law in the first chapter. So in the first chapter, we are discussing the electric field due to spherical shell. What about the expression for electric field outside the spherical shell? If the electric field outside the spherical shell is equal to, can anyone recall the formula? The electric field outside the spherical shell is given by sigma r square divided by epsilon 0 r square. This is the equation for electric field outside the spherical shell. We are discussing in the first chapter as an application of Gauss's law. Now we can derive an expression, or we can write the expression for potential. We are consider the potential in a spherical shell. So the potential outside the spherical shell is given by, what is the expression for the spherical, the potential? It is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R. Q by R. In this case, the radius R is greater than capital R. That's why we are using the expression for the potential outside the spherical shell is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R. We just compare the value of potential and electric field if it is in the case of a spherical shell. So we just recall the electric field from the first chapter. For the electric field outside the spherical shell, we can calculate it using the equation sigma r square divided by epsilon 0 r square. Now we are consider the case of potential. The potential outside the spherical shell can be calculated by the formula. So for a spherical shell, the electric field can be calculated by the electric field for outside the spherical shell. It is given by sigma r square divided by epsilon 0 r square. And the potential outside the spherical shell is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R. Now we can write the expression for the electric field and potential inside the spherical shell. So outside the spherical shell, we are already see the expression for calculating the electric field and the potential. What about the value of electric field inside the spherical shell? What about the value of electric field inside the spherical shell? Yes, Gauri, say it louder. Yes, it is 0. Very good. The expression or the value of the electric field inside the spherical shell is 0. Now, in the case of potential inside the spherical shell, it is not a 0. It has a particular value and it is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q divided by capital R. In this case, the small r is equal to capital R. So we can replace the small r with the capital R here. So this is the expression for calculating the electric field and potential inside the spherical shell. So when we are comparing this, we can find that inside the spherical shell, the electric field is 0. So even though the electric field is 0 inside the spherical shell, the potential is not 0. It is remains a constant and its value is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q by r. We can prove this with the next topic. Okay, we can prove this. Why, even though the electric field is 0, why we are saying that the potential inside the spherical shell is not 0, it is a remains a constant. So I hope this is clear. So we are starting with the potential due to a system of charges. So we are deriving an expression for potential due to a system of charges. After that, we are suppose if it is in the case of a spherical shell, we just compare the values of the electric field and the potential inside and outside that of the spherical shell. Is it is clear for you? Do you have any doubt? Okay, all right. Now we can move to the next topic, that is relation between electric field and potential. The next topic is relation between electric field and potential. Relation between electric field and potential. Okay. So in order to make a relation between this electric field and potential, write the condition. Consider two plates. Consider two plates A and B. Consider two plates A and B, plate A and plate B, with the potential V and delta V, with the potential V and delta V, delta in this way. This is what is meant by delta. Delta V. V and V plus delta. I will represent it. Here we are considering the two plates. We are considering the two plates. This is our plate A and this is the plate B. Okay. With the potential V and V plus delta V. V plus delta V. So here we are considering two plates A and B with the potential V and V plus delta V. Let these plates are in electric field E. These plates are in electric field E. These plates are in electric field E. Let P be a point. Let P be a point on the surface of the plate B. Let P be a point on the surface of the plate B. Delta L is the perpendicular distance. Delta L is the perpendicular distance of the surface A from P.
Once more.
Delta L is the perpendicular distance. Delta L is the perpendicular distance of the surface A from point P. That is, from the surface of this plate A, the point P is located at a distance of delta L. Delta L is the perpendicular distance of the surface A from point P. Okay. So these are the conditions that we are taken here. First of all, we consider two plates, plate A and plate B, with the potential V and V plus delta V. These two plates are in the electric field E. Then let P be a point that is on the surface of the point B. And this point B is separated from the surface of the A with a perpendicular distance of delta L. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now we want to move. We want to bring a unit positive test charge from point P to the surface of A. Okay. Now we want to bring a unit positive test charge plus 1 coulomb from point P to the point on the surface of A. For that, what we want to do? Can we move this plus 1 coulomb simply to the surface of A?
External force.
Yes, here we need to do some external force in order to bring this unit positive test charge plus 1 coulomb from the point P to on the surface of A through a perpendicular distance of delta L. So there is a unit positive test charge plus 1 coulomb is placed at P. We want to bring that unit positive test charge from point P to the surface of point A. For that, we want to do some external work. Okay, then what is the expression for calculating the work? Work done is equal to force into displacement, right? The work done is equal to force into displacement. And we are already studied an expression. We were already discussed an expression, that is relation between the force and that of the electric field. What is that? F is equal to
EQ.
QE, right? F is equal to QE. And what is the value of charge here? Plus 1 coulomb, right? So this expression is become F is equal to plus 1 into E, that is equal to F equal to E, which means the force, the external force that we are done here is the electric field itself, that is E. So since F is equal to QE, here the Q is equal to plus 1 coulomb, so which implies F is equal to E. So in this expression, instead of F, we can write E. So the work done is equal to E into displacement. What is the displacement here? Here the charge plus 1 coulomb is moves from the point P to the surface of A through a perpendicular distance delta L, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the displacement here?
Delta.
Delta L, very good. So the displacement here is delta L. So the work done to bring a unit positive charge from the point P to a point on the surface of the plate A through a perpendicular distance delta L is given by the formula W is equal to E delta L.
Ma'am,
W is S
ma'am, can you explain again how we wrote F as E?
FSE. Okay, all right. The work done can be calculated by the equation. In physics, we are already studied that work done can be calculated by force into displacement. Force into displacement. That is W is equal to FD. We are already studied in the first chapter the relation between the force, the Coulomb's force and that of the electric field. That is F is equal to QE. This is an expression that we were studied in the first chapter. Here, what is the value of Q? Q is the charge. Here we are consider a unit positive test charge plus 1 Coulomb. So here Q is equal to plus 1 Coulomb. Therefore, F is equal to 1 into E, which implies F is equal to E. 1 into E, E. So F is equal to E. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So instead of F, we can write this E. E is the electric field. Okay. Then W is equal to EDL. And in the first class onwards, we were already discussed that this work done is stored in the form of which energy? This work done is stored in the form of potential energy. And these plates are with potential V and V plus delta V. So there exists a potential difference between these two plates. So this work done is stored in the form of potential energy. And this potential energy between these two plates are given by V minus V plus delta V is equal to E delta L. So before that, when you can write the work done is stored in the form of potential energy. Here the work done is stored, the work done is stored in the form of potential energy, is stored in the form of potential energy. That is the work done is given by W is equal to, here we have two potential. For plate A, the potential is V, and for plate B, the potential is given by V plus delta V. The potential difference between these 2 points are given by V minus V plus delta V. V is the potential of the plate A and V plus delta V is the potential of plate B. Now, when we take this negative sign inside the bracket, it becomes V minus V minus delta V. What is V minus V? Cancels. Positive V and negative V is cancelled. So it becomes 0. So we get the work done is equal to minus delta V. Right? Do you have any doubt in this step? Here the work done is stored in the form of potential energy. Here we have two plates, plate A and plate B with the potential V and V plus delta V. So we find the difference between these two potential, that is work done is equal to V minus V plus delta V. While taking this minus sign or negative sign inside the bracket, we have V minus delta V. That is this V and this V cancel. So W is equal to minus delta V. So instead of this W, we can write minus delta V equal to E delta L. Minus delta V is equal to E delta L. Or once again, we can rearrange this, or we can write E delta L is equal to minus delta V. E delta L is equal to minus delta V. Then what is E? E is equal to minus delta V divided by delta L. E is equal to minus delta V divided by delta L. This is the relation between the electric field and potential. This is the relation between the electric field and potential. Okay, that is E is equal to minus or negative delta V divided by delta L. By this delta V by delta L, we means that we are pronounced it is the gradient. This delta V by delta L means gradient. So here we can say the electric field is the negative gradient of potential, right? It is the negative gradient of delta by delta L is pronounced as gradient. So we can say the electric field is the negative gradient of potential. Electric field is the negative gradient of potential. If we are taking the modulus of E, modulus of electric field, we have modulus of delta V divided by delta L, or modulus of E is equal to positive delta V divided by delta L. So the modulus, that is the magnitude of the electric field gives positive delta V divided by delta L.
Ma'am,
Yes,
ma'am, this is the relation between electric field and
potential. V for potential. Okay, this is the relation between the electric field and potential. So we get an expression like this. The electric field E is equal to negative delta V by delta L. When we take the magnitude of electric field, we have magnitude of electric field is equal to positive delta V divided by delta L. So from this relation, we can draw two conclusions. From this relations, we have two conclusions. The first conclusion is that the electric field is in the direction. The first conclusion, the electric field is in the direction. The electric field is in the direction the electric field is in the direction in which the potential decreases steepest. The electric field is in the direction in which the potential is decreases. That is why E is equal to minus delta V by delta L. So here we can say the electric field is in the direction in which the potential is decreases the steepest. Potential decreases steepest. Or we can say the electric field is the negative gradient of potential. Both are same. The electric field is in the direction in which the potential is decreases steepest, or we can say the electric field is the negative gradient of the potential. Now we are
Ma'am.
also, yes,
Ma'am, potential decreases and after that what did you say?
potential decreases means we have a negative value for the potential.
No, ma'am. After potential decreases, you said one more word, right? What was it?
Steepest. It is decreases very vertically. When the electric field is increases, the direction of the electric field is in the direction in which the potential is decreases the steepest. And in the second equation, we take the magnitude of this electric field. The magnitude of the electric field E is given by positive delta V by delta L. So from that equation, we can draw another conclusion, that is the magnitude of electric field. The second conclusion from this equation, the magnitude of electric field is given by, the magnitude of the electric field is given by change in the magnitude of potential. The magnitude of electric field is given by change in the magnitude of potential. Change in the magnitude of potential per unit displacement. Per unit displacement. That is the magnitude of E is given by delta V by delta L. Delta means instead of writing dV by dL, we are writing this delta V by delta L. So the magnitude of the electric field is the change in the magnitude of potential per unit displacement. Per unit displacement. normal to the equipotential surface. Normal to the equipotential surface. We are studying what do you mean by the equipotential surface in our next class. So you don't need to worry. So the magnitude of E is equal to delta V by delta L. Magnitude of the electric field is given by the change in the magnitude of potential with respect to per unit length, which is normal to the equipotential surface. Is it is clear? Okay, I hope this is clear for you. Now, suppose take one condition, or we can consider a case. Suppose instead of this plain sheet, if we have spherical shell. Suppose instead of this plain sheets, if we have spherical shell, suppose instead of this plain sheet, if we have spherical shell, what is the value of E inside the spherical shell?
0.
Yes, the value of E is equal to 0, right? Suppose instead of this plain sheet, if we have spherical shell, the value of E is equal to 0. E equal to 0 for a spherical shell. Inside the spherical shell. E inside the spherical shell is 0. Then what happens to this equation? Delta V by delta L equal to what? Delta V by delta L equal to
0.
0. Because if we are if it is a spherical shell, then the electric field inside the spherical shell is equal to 0. So our equation become delta V by delta L equal to 0, which means dV by dL is equal to 0. In mathematics, what do you mean by this statement? dV by dL is equal to 0. Can you recall? In mathematics, the derivative of a constant is equal to 0, right? The derivative of a constant, that is d by dl of a constant x is equal to 0. We have already studied in mathematics. So delta V by delta L is equal to 0 means the derivative of a constant is equal to 0. That is delta by delta L of a constant is equal to 0. So what is the constant here?
V.
Yes. Then from this we can say V is a constant. V is a constant. Here V is constant. Suppose if we are consider instead of this plain sheet, if it is a spherical shell, the electric field inside the spherical shell is 0. That is E is equal to 0. Then our equation become delta V by delta L is equal to 0. That is the derivative of a constant is equal to 0. So here that constant is nothing. It is our potential V. So we can say from this, the potential V is a constant. So we can say that even though the electric field inside the spherical shell is 0, the potential is not 0. The potential is remains a constant. That is what is we are discussed in the last equation. In the potential due to system of charges, after that we are writing one condition that inside the spherical shell E is equal to 0, but the value of potential is given by V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R. It is not a constant. It is not a 0. It has a constant value that is given by V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R. Is it is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anyone have any doubt? If you have doubt, you can ask now itself. Yes, Achyut?
Can you say again the
Yes.
plain sheet? Explain the plane sheet again.
This one, the relation between electric field and that of the potential field, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So in this case, in order to explain this relation between this potential and electric field, we are considering the two plane sheets, two sheets or two plates, plate A and plate B. Plate A and plate B. Plate A with the potential V and plate B with the potential V plus delta V. These two plates are in an electric field E. These two plates are an electric field E. Let P be a point on the surface of this plate B. Let P be a point on the surface of the plate B. And the distance from this point P to the surface of the plate A is given by delta L. From this point P to the surface of the A, the distance is perpendicular distance is given by delta L. Suppose we are placed a unit positive test charge plus 1 coulomb at the point P. All of you please switch on your videos. Suppose we place a unit positive test charge plus 1 coulomb at this point P. Now we want to bring this plus 1 coulomb test charge to this point on the surface of A. For that we want to do some external work. So that external work is given by work done is equal to force into displacement, that is F into D. Here we have already discussed that the force and the relationship between this electric field F is equal to QE. Here the charge Q is nothing, it is plus 1 coulomb. So here Q is equal to plus 1 coulomb. Then F is equal to 1 into E, or F is equal to E. F is equal to E. So instead of writing F here, we can write E. Instead of writing F, we can write either. So this equation is becomes W is equal to E into the next term is displacement. Here we want to transfer the charge from point P to a point on the surface of the plate A. The distance of separation between these 2 points is given by delta L. So the work done is given by force into displacement, that is given by E into delta L. And the work done is stored in the form of potential energy. Here we have two potential V and V plus delta V. So we take its difference. So the work done becomes W is equal to V minus V plus delta V.
Ma'am,
By
del L how much?
V plus delta V, this is the potential of this plate B, V plus delta V.
Del L, del L. Delta L.
Delta V,
How you
potential.
got delta L?
Delta L, this one.
Yes, ma'am.
Delta L is the distance of separation between the point P and that of the point on the surface of the A. This one.
Yes, ma'am.
Manuel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Here it is the displacement. Displacement means how much distance that test charge is moving from point P to this point. This distance of separation is given by delta L. This much distance we want to bring this charge from plus 1 coulomb from the point P onto the surface of the plate A. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So that displacement is given by delta L. So the D is replaced by delta L. So the work done is given by E into delta L. And here the work done is stored in the form of potential energy. For plate A, we have a potential V, and for plate B, the potential is given by V plus delta V. Therefore, the work done is given by difference in their potential energies, that is V minus V plus delta V. Now we can take this negative sign inside. So V minus delta V. V minus V is equal to 0. Therefore, the work done is equal to minus delta V. Work done is equal to minus delta V. Now, instead of writing this W, we can write minus delta V there. So our equation becomes minus delta V is equal to E delta L, or E delta L is equal to minus delta V. From this, we derive the expression for E is equal to minus delta V divided by delta L. This is the relationship between the electric field and that of the potential. Now, if we are consider the magnitude of this electric field, it becomes modulus of E is equal to plus delta V by L. Delta V by delta L. This is the relation between the electric field and that of the potential. Is it is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, you told about gradient, right? In that, what was that?
Yes. It's not clear. Ask once again.
Ma'am, gradient.
Gradient. Yes. It's not clear. Did anyone understand? Please clear it.
Ma'am, she asked about the gradient.
Gradient. Okay. This delta by delta L is pronounced as the gradient. It is the gradient. In physics, we are pronounced it gradient. Okay. So here the electric field is the negative gradient of potential. Here V is the potential and delta by delta L is known as gradient. In physics, we are call it as gradient. So the electric field is the negative gradient of the potential. It is the negative gradient of the potential. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So today we are discussing the two topics. One is the potential due to a system of charges and the relation between the electric field and potential. I hope these topics are clear for you, right? Do you have any doubts dealing with these topics? You can ask them clear now itself. Can we wind up?
Ma'am,
Yes.
how the electric field inside the spherical shell is zero? Last
we
day
were
you told
discussed.
it's sigma by epsilon zero.
Sigma by epsilon 0. In the last class, inside the spherical shell, there is no charge distribution because the charge is distributed on the surface. Inside the spherical shell, there is no distribution of charges takes place. You just go through the application of Gauss's law. We can discuss in the next class. Okay. Since there is no charge distribution is there inside the spherical shell, the electric field is 0.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you all. Bye.